Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays. Those are the best days because Mondays and Fridays are bad days for closings. And the rhyme and reason to that is Fridays, the end of the day, end of the week, people are trying to get last minute funds in and whatnot, and it's hard to get those closings done. And then it kind of drags out longer. Mondays, everything's starting up from the weekend, so not everything's being looked at right away. So it can take longer. So that's why we have Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays are best days for closings. And then make sure that everything is good to go. And that's all I got for that. Next thing you know, we're going to go on to the next question that I have, that I love this question a lot. What is my realtor fee and how does it work? Well, when I say 6%, I love how I watch people cringe. Not really. I don't like the look of it, but I see how they cringe their face and say, wow, 6%, that's way too much. But you have to understand, I don't get that whole 6%, okay, as any agent is. That 6% gets split between two agents, the buying and the selling agent. So now we're down to 3% each, okay? After that, each agent actually has to now split with their brokerage house a percentage on their 3%. Then after that, we have to pay for our marketing needs that we have to do and our fees for being realtors. That has to get done. Then we actually have to pay our taxes on top of that. So that whole 6% that started, you're probably looking at 1 to 1.5%, if anything close. So when people say, well, 6% is too much and that's a lot, I'm not getting the whole 6%. If I was, I'd be lucky, but I'm not getting the whole 6%. So that's what you need to, make sure that you know that that whole 6% is not going towards one agent. It's going to be split between two agents, to brokerage houses, to marketing, to realtor fees, to taxes. And that's how that all goes to. The next item that I love, and I get this a lot, is how do I have any professionals in my network? Now, what that means is, and this is why Socially Joe was founded, okay, is how many people do I know in my circle that I can refer you to, in a sense. So what that means, let's just say your roof is leaking, you need a roofer. Do I have a roofer? Yes, I have a roofer I can recommend. I have plumbers, I have electricians, I have contractors, I have floors, I have pet sitters, I have health and wellness coaches, I have yoga, I have, you name it, I probably have it. I have a big binder of business cards that I can refer out business to. But this is a good way to know that whoever you're dealing with as with a realtor, do they have those connection points that they can refer someone on the dime to you right away and say, hey, I have a person for you, even to pack up and move. I got movers for you. Let's do this. Okay. The next part, which is really great, and I love this, is do you have a marketing plan for the home? Well, every realtor is going to be different. Okay. So I can't really specify for every agent, but most of us will probably cross over the same lines here and there. So in the I'm going to say the BC, before COVID. Now we're going back to BC. I like that. Before COVID, there was many ways to market your property, and it was easier times and better ways to do them. We had these other options to market your properties, but they were always too costly, and we didn't want to use them. And now with COVID, we have to use these, and costs have gone down. So therefore, it's relevant. But with the whole COVID world now, there are different ways to market your property, but the big thing that people love is it just can't be sold with photos anymore. Because I used to walk in with professional photographer, take photos, get them, edited, and then next thing you know, they would look nice and whatever. But the thing is, you can't do that anymore because people want to go into a property. They want to walk through the property. They want to see everything about the property, but they can't. Some people just don't want other buyers in their house because of fear of COVID. And that's sad that it's come to this. But the thing is, we have videos now. We have drones. We have Zillow walkthroughs where I walk through with my little gimbal and I can record a 2-minute or less video of a Zillow walkthrough for you. And I can showcase your house and then put that up there. We can do a big, glorious video of a production standard video type and show more highlights, more everything, and make it even look better, adding drone video to it as well. Drones, they can do video showcasing the property as well as just doing pictures outside too. 3D tours, which is the fun thing, Matterport. So Matterport is, like I said, it's always been there but never utilized. But Matterport's a device that you pop into every room. It scans a room 360, and next thing you know, it just goes blammo, here you go. And then, as you know, it does a 3D walkthrough video that you can click on all the little circles, and you can actually have a tour and look. And in the Matter 3D tours, you can actually put like little information spikes in there saying, hey, did you know that this fireplace is whatever from the original house? Or did you know that this point in here? You can add these little things into the 3D tour. The other options that we always do is MLS, multiple listing service, like I mentioned. So therefore, that will be released once the your property is uploaded with the photos onto the MLS, and then it will go into syndication to the real estate portals like Zillow, Redfin, Trulia, Realtor.com, so on and so on. So those will all go blanket out. Staging is still good, all right? Because if you feel that you have to have someone in your house and you feel comfortable about it, you have to make sure your house is staged well. Hence, making sure your property looks nice with the mulching and the paint and all that other stuff. Property descriptions, we make sure those are all up and up, but then we also have those as flyers that we can put outside in tubes or flyer holders that people can actually look into and just pull a piece of paper and fly off with it. Listing price, obviously we market those things, and we make sure that the price is set correct for appraising, and that's all we could do for that. Photo, video, we kind of mentioned that. Photos and videos, they kind of go hand in hand now, and it kind of goes more and more to video side than it was photos. But photos still are good, and they still work, but now people want video. I mentioned flyers for advertising, but brochures, ads, networking, just all these certain things, even to the fact of the matter is every realtor has a CRM or an email compiled list of realtors or brokers in the area. And with that, the broker or this email will be made by the listing agent. And next thing you know, they will send it out to every one of them. And they'll see your property. They'll see what to expect, what it looks like. They'll have pricing on it. It gets the whole motivation going, oh, I really want to look at that property. So then they want to go over that. The final point I want to mention is what is a transaction broker and what does this mean? So that's a term that's been thrown around a lot. And when I became an agent down here in Florida, a transaction broker is basically an agent that can go from one agent selling side to both sides. So with that, let's just say if I'm listing your house and I'm your listing agent and I do an open house and I find a buyer for your house, not only does the buyer has to agree, but the seller has to agree on both sides that I can represent you both. And that's what a transaction broker is. Now, here is the item to be aware of, all right? The listing agent and the buyer's agent, when they become a transaction broker, has to make sure that all information is confidential. So therefore, if the lister says, hey, Joe, I can only go as low as XYZ amount of price, I cannot go to the buyer and say, well, you know what? I have a feeling that this person's going to go lower than this. No, I can't. Just as I can't disclose anything from the buyer side saying, hey, Joe, I'm only willing to go as high as XYZ. I can't go to the lister and say, or the seller and say, hey, look, that buyer's going to go higher. We should tack on a little bit more. That's unethical and it cannot be done. So therefore, if the agent becomes a transaction broker, they must be confidential to both sides and be true to both sides and be able to represent both sides with no problem. And that, never heard any stories of that thus far. So knock on wood, 1, 2, 3. We're just going to go with that always works fine. Other than that, that is all I have for this real estate side of the listing area. I will try to do a little bit more segments on both my design and real estate side so I can give you a little helpful tidbits and hints of what to do and whatnot. But other than that, I'm going to give my little entryway point of how you can get a hold of me. Once again, Joe Riggio with Weichert Realtors Hallmark Properties. I'd be contacted by my cell phone at any time, like I said, within a certain amount of reason. Let's keep it daytimes, from 610-291-2326. Or I could be reached by my email at jriggio@weichert.com. And I'll make sure to have that all in my bio and everything, that you can actually contact me if you have any other questions. But like I said, if you're currently working with an agent, that's awesome. I'm not trying to get you away from them. I'm just trying to give you information. So that way, these are questions that people have that I like to answer and make sure that everyone has the information that they have in front of them. Other than that, I want to wish everyone a great day. Stay safe, and that's it.